Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So, Prabhu's and Mataji's, all we really have to do is have faith in the name. It's all we really have to do. It's all we have to do. If we simply can have faith in the name, then we can easily cross over this ocean of material suffering. You understand? All we need is that faith in the name. Samashrutaye pallapallavaplavam mahatpadam punya jasho marare babam badir vatsa param param padam 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 yagna padam te sham. Wow, that's poetry. Shakespeare can't compete with that. So nice Sanskrit poetry. Srila Vyasadeva. Translation is, for one who has taken shelter of the boat, of the lotus feet of Lord Sri Krishna, this vast, insurmountable ocean of material existence becomes reduced down to the amount of water contained within the footprint of the calf. For such persons, their aim is that Parampadam, the Vaikuntha world, not that place like Copenhagen or New York, which is Padam Padam Yanda Padam Nadesham, where there is danger at every step. So, how do you get to those lotus feet? The lotus feet are fully, completely, totally manifest in the form of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. You don't have to go very far for those lotus feet. You just have to chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Take the dust of the feet on your head. It's right there in the form of Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Therefore, Bhaktivinoda is urging, Grihe tako, vane tako, stadahari bole tako, sukke dukke buro harinam kure. He's urging. Whether you're a householder, whether you're a sannyasi, it does not matter. You always chant Hare Krishna mantra. You see. If you're happy, chant Hare Krishna. If you're miserable, chant Hare Krishna. In every condition, simply go on chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Well, I got my rounds finished, don't have to worry about it. I finished my chanting for the day, so now I can just... Actually, Prabhupada, I think he was being sarcastic, making fun of the Shrutakirti. We were told one story. That Prabhupada, he had his beads, now he finally did the 16th round on the count of these. He said, you said, I finished my round and now I can do any damn thing I want. I think Prabhupada was making fun of us. He was being sarcastically making fun of his disciples. Because that's our mood. At least I have that problem. Got my round done, I can do whatever I want. Sleep, eat, space out, it's okay, I got my round done. But Prabhupada gave a wonderful, wonderful instruction in one letter to some Japanese persons. They weren't in the temple, they read Prabhupada's books. I told the other day that some of you are here for the first time. I'll tell you. They had read Prabhupada's books and they really liked chanting Hare Krishna. So Prabhupada advised them that you should always chant. He said when you're taking your bath, chant Hare Krishna. When you're doing something with your hands, chant Hare Krishna. When you're on the bus, chant Hare Krishna. When you're taking rest, chant Hare Krishna. In this way, Prabhupada advised them to go on, what is the harm if you go on 24 hours a day, always chanting Hare Krishna? And I was thinking, wow, that's got to be... I was in Vrindavan actually when I found that letter in the database. You know how Vrindavan can kind of uplift you spiritually. So my mind kind of revolted against it. Oh, no, don't do that. The mind was objecting. I say, let me just try this, Keep chanting and pouring the bucket of water over my, pouring the water over my head, Hare Krishna, and doing this. The mind is saying, no, you can't do that. You don't want to chant too much now. The mind is trying to tell me, I said, you shut up, mind. I'm going to try to give this a try. I'm going to try chanting as much as I can throughout the day. And it's really amazing. Just try chanting when you didn't chant before, When you're shaving or combing your hair, Hare Krishna. Just try doing what you haven't done before. Putting some extra mantras into your day. And you know what happens? The more you put those mantras in, the more they become delicious and tasty. And actually that's our goal. We want to get to the point where we actually have taste for the name. It's not just some mechanical thing I have to do because Prabhupada said I gotta chant 16 rounds. I promised my Guru Maharaj I'm gonna chant 16 rounds. That's okay in the beginning, but we have to go beyond that stage where we actually get taste. You see? And I was thinking, well, here I'm chanting all these years, no taste, but wow, this is a little tidbit of really fantastic insider information from Srila Prabhupada himself. And I found that by doing this, actually the name, just doing it a little bit here and there, wherever you think about it. Here I am spacing out, or I'm thinking of some old memory from the old, and just chant Hare Krishna instead. Instead of letting your mind space out on some mundane thought, just put the Hare Krishna mantra in there, and the more you do it, wow, it just becomes amazing. The name it just becomes, you start looking for every available opportunity, but you can just get back to the chanting, just like Baba gives the example of how a boy is attracted to a girl spontaneously in the Bhagavad Gita purport. So we can actually get to that point where we're just like, like a boy just really anxious to get back with his girlfriend again, or a girl just anxious to get back with her boyfriend, and just anxious to get back to that Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he's praying for that day when you can actually get Namaruchi. Of course he already has it, but he's showing example for us, you see. Because the fact is, what we're attached to, as this purport confronts, we're attached to sex pleasure. Either subtle or gross, thinking about it, we're still addicted to this thing. That's our fact in this material world. We're very attacked. That's why we have to physically separate ourselves, men and women. We have women here and men here because we know we have the disease, of love. So to protect ourselves, we keep we follow the Vedic system, some separation between men and women, physically. But spiritually, we're all together. But physically, we make some separation for the benefit of the men and the women both, you see. So, this process, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, is very, very nicely sung. Kabbe kabbe bolo se dinamai. When will that day be mine? Aparada gucci, shudaname ruchi, kripa bole habe hridoye sanchar. When my offenses ceasing, taste for the name increasing, when in my heart will your mercy shine? Kabbe habe bolo se namar. When will that day be mine? So this is the mood, you see. It's hankering for that day when I can really, really relish the name. Right now it's mechanical. We're still trying to train ourselves. And that's okay. But just be determined and be dedicated to the training. And in due course, by the mercy of Guru and Krishna, that day will come when we actually develop taste for the name. That day will come. When we can utter Krishna's name and taste unlimited ecstasy just by 2 syllables, Krishna. So anyway, I can ask now if there's some questions. Yes, Prabhu.
Well, it can seem like if we are constantly chanting, when we, for instance, are cooking, then the mind will maybe be diverted. Either there's 2 things happening. Either the mind is diverting from what you're really doing, the cooking, and you're spacing out the cooking. Or you are spacing out the chanting, and that means you're sort of like getting into the habit of not hearing the chanting. So that it seems there can be a danger in this Kirtaniya Slavani.
Oh, chanting Hare Krishna is dangerous. Warning! The Surgeon General advises that chanting Hare Krishna may be dangerous to your spiritual life. Now there is a practical side. I mean, you have to be careful if you're chanting over while you're cooking, because you might get saliva in the prasadam and then you can't offer the Krishna. You know, there are practical things. Now, there's some very intensive service that you have to really focus your full attention on that thing to do it properly. That's the goodest thing. Right? It is genuine. It is. It's non-different. But I find a lot of things we do are just, they don't require that much complete, total, I would say, laser focus. You're cutting vegetables. You spent 3 hours cutting vegetables. You're not allowed to say Hare Krishna once because you have to focus on, let's be realistic. It depends on the situation. I dare not chant Hare Krishna while I'm shaving because I might cut myself. You can find all kind of ways to rationalize not chanting Hare Krishna. I'm riding on the bus and if I chant Hare Krishna, then people may think I'm weird. That crazy man over there muttering Hare Krishna. Like he's weird. I don't want to chant Hare Krishna on the bus because I think I'm insane. You can find so many excuses not to chant Hare Krishna. Maya will give you unlimited excuses not to chant Hare Krishna if you want not to chant Hare Krishna. Of course, not in every situation should you chant Hare Krishna. We had one boy who would sleep during the japa period, and he would come to Bhagavatam class and sit there and chant his rounds during the class. Which is completely bogus. So that's why we have senior devotees to tell us that we're doing something fanatical, it's not really proper. So I trust your judgment as a temple president to guide the devotees if they're taking Prabhupada's advice fanatically, that was interrupting their service. I fully trust your Prabhupada's empowered representative, the empowered representative of your Guru Maharaj, so I fully trust you that you will guide the devotees properly. If they're fanatically chanting Hare Krishna in such a way that their service is not being done properly. But I would say, generally, somebody's cutting vegetables and thinking about some mundane song they used to, you really like, when they're cutting vegetables. For their favorite punk rock band, they're cutting vegetables, their mind is totally absorbed in that. So better they chant Hare Krishna and cut the vegetables, think about their favorite punk rock band, you know what I'm saying? Any other questions? Yeah.
It's a bit of the same question, but which is better? Chanting Hare Krishna without being attentive, or not chanting Hare Krishna?
The thing is, your 16 rounds have to be completely laser focused. No other consciousness. That's why we advise, don't drive. Some people, they drive their car, drive to work chanting around. I mean, it's not proper. You can't concentrate fully. If you do, you're not a safe driver. So, your 16 rounds have to be with no other thing. But other things, Prabhupada said, note the letter, he said, while doing something with your hands, you can chant Hare Krishna. So it's not considered offensive if you put Hare Krishna mantra in the background throughout the whole day while you're doing things. It's not considered offensive. Your 16 rounds have to be undivided attention. But other times you can chant Hare Krishna, you can be focused on shaving and also put a little Hare Krishna in the background. Now, some devotees may be disturbed, you're trying to take rest and you're sitting there chanting Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. So we have to see time, place, and circumstance. Prabhupada did not like devotees chanting japa outside the door of his quarters, although he liked kirtan. So we shouldn't impose it on other people if it's bothering them. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. We have to be, we're a family, we have to be conscious of others. But there's definitely many opportunities of walking down the street, you can chant Hare Krishna, with or without being. Why not add more Hare Krishna to your day? The extra chanting can be halfway focused, that's another thing. Because it's extras. Okay? Yes?
We see that in the past we joined and then we more or less we went out on the street very fast on book distribution, Harinam book distribution. Nowadays it seems to me that there are a lot of more focus on education and chanting and then Prabhupada gave this instruction to these Japanese that they could chant the whole day.
What's the power balance?
Yeah.
Okay. In the beginning of this huge thing, save the world, spread the movement, flood the planet with problems, those things are still there, they haven't changed. Actually, I remember when in the spring of '72, I remember when Prabhupada sent a letter out, a letter came from Prabhupada. Because our movement was growing like anything in the US. I mean, devotees were joining every day. We had devotees joining the temple every day. And every day, people would move in, shave up. It was like explosive growth. But people didn't know the philosophy very well. Their sadhana wasn't that good. And Prabhupada then wrote a letter. He said, he says, if you keep adding, you're boiling the milk. He's trying to get some burfi, right? You're boiling down the pot of milk to get some burfi. You keep adding milk, and then we get the burfi. He said, better to boil the milk until it becomes thick and sweet. And that's when he introduced the standard Srimad Bhagavatam class, where we chant the Sanskrit. That wasn't done in the early days. No one chanted Sanskrit. Only Prabhupada chanted Sanskrit. And we started chanting Sanskrit verses. We became more Brahminical. That was on Prabhupada's order. That along with the rapid expansion, the revolutionary zeal, which was Prabhupada fanned the fire of that revolutionary zeal. But then he said, it's more important to maintain the devotees we have than to make new devotees. So, if you keep making devotees, but nobody's trained how to chant properly, nobody's trained to understand the philosophy properly, then what are you doing? You're bringing people in like crazy, they're leaving like crazy also, is it? And we have, how many people we've seen leave this movement? You've been around for many years. You've seen many people leave, haven't you? Isn't it? Anyone who's been around for a long time, been around for 41 years. Manidhaka, we've been around for many years. We've seen him come and go. It's like a bus station movement sometimes. Sometimes,
I remember this one. Bus station.
Huh?
Bus station movement.
Bus station movement.
I remember that.
So yeah, it's like that sometimes. They come and they go. So we got him here in the bus station. We don't just come and go. Now we got him here, we got to train him up. How to take shelter of the name. You see, what's the good of massive preaching if the people who come aren't trained where they can devote their whole life to this process? What's the use of it? The people that are here, we should train them very nicely. So both things should go on simultaneously. You see. Prabhupada said the most important thing is to save the world. And even more important is to save yourself. So one of my disciples in Lithuania said, well, Guru Maharaj, how do we balance that? How do we do that? I said, well, the morning program is save yourself, and after breakfast it's save the world. That's how you balance it. The morning program, getting up Mangalarti, Tulsi Varsha, Bhagavatam, Japa. That's save yourself, and after breakfast go out and save the world. That's the balance. Yeah.
You mentioned one should have faith in the holy name. So can my faith in the holy name or my prayer to the holy name change other person, or
Can your faith in the holy name affect others? That's the question.
or can it transform their heart, or
Same thing. Affecting and transforming the heart, the same thing. Okay. The question is wonderfully answered by the Divine Vision Prabhupada. It is purport to the Chaitanya Charitamrita. And this is one of the most amazing things I've ever heard come out of Prabhupada. It's it's so amazing you can hardly believe it, but you have to believe it because Prabhupada said it. He said that if one will have complete faith in the holy names of the Lord, in other words, the way he phrased it was one become completely offenseless in his chanting, which means your faith, which is similar to the point of faith. If one becomes completely offenseless in his chanting of the holy names of the Lord, completely, 100% pure in his chanting, that means absolute faith. It's the same thing. He says if one becomes completely pure in his chanting of the holy names, then he becomes Jagadguru. And under his influence, the whole world will take up Krishna consciousness. So that's got to be a really amazing instruction, you see. So each one of us should try to become pure chanters of the names. Each one of us should try to become. And it's also it's graded or percentage basis. In other words, to whatever percentage or whatever amount of faith and purity you have in your chanting, to that extent you'll be potent for influencing others to become Krishna conscious. So they actually tie in, saving yourself and saving the world. They appear to be different, but actually they're the same. Because the more that you become absorbed in bhakti, you automatically have potency for inspiring others. The one who is completely, totally absorbed in pure bhakti, that one devotee can deliver the whole universe, Prabhupada said. The whole universe he can deliver. So each one of us should try to become such a pure devotee who could do the greatest good for all living entities. And simply by their presence in this universe. We have to so how do we get there? Well, the first thing is we have to see we have to honestly see how bad our present position is. And we have to honestly hear feedback from others who can oftentimes see our faults better than we can. We have to really, really be open to our faults being known and understood. We should not just think we're advanced devotees, we should think we're very good. The fact is we're not that advanced. We should honestly see how fallen and how lusty, how lazy, how greedy. We should see our bad qualities. We should become very, very expert in finding the faults in ourselves. And we should take help from others. You see, when others point out our faults, we shouldn't just argue. We should all be submissive while he's pointing out a fault. Let me understand how he sees me. You see. Maybe I can learn something from this. This devotee sees a fault in me. I didn't think I had such a fault, but let me open myself up and see what is this fault the devotee sees in me. So the more we can actually see our faults, honestly see and admit our faults, then we're in a position to actually do something to conquer them. If we blindly think we are faultless, we'll never get past the neophyte stage. Never get past the neophyte stage. But one who is willing to take correction, and even Prabhupada said, the one who is more chastised, he is advanced. So the devotee is actually very eager to take correction. I remember one devotee in Mumbai, he gave Bhagavatam class. He said, if some devotee finds fault with you, invite him to move in with you. Invite him to be your roommate. So it's actually very good that others are pointing out our fault. We should be very eager to find out our own fault, because that's how we can become strong in bhakti. That's how we can develop strong faith in the name. Becoming free from and especially those 10 nama-parads. Everything is right there. This is why Prabhupada said for initiation ceremony, the 10 offenses must be lectured on in the initiation ceremony. Because becoming Krishna conscious doesn't just mean following the 4 regulative principles and chanting at least 16 rounds. It means learning how to avoid the 10 nama-parads. If we can conquer over those 10 nama-parads, then that means we're becoming very, very strong in our faith. We become empowered Vaishnavas who can do all the world. We can become free of all those So that's wonderful. Does that answer your question? Anything else? Yeah.
So it's very good when others see fault in you, but in order for there to be someone to see that fault, then someone has to first find it. So should we find faults?
Should devotees be fault finders for the benefit of others? Well, one has to be careful. As long as the person who is actually a genuine well-wisher of others, he's qualified to find faults. A person who has genuine, if I genuinely love you, I'll just make a direct example. If I genuinely love you, I have sincere compassion for you. If I'm your well-wisher in every circumstance, like Prabhupada said, you're a well-wisher. If I am your true well-wishing friend, I always want the best for you in every single situation. I'm always thinking what's for your benefit, then I'm qualified to find fault with you. But if I don't have that mood, then I'm not qualified to find fault with you. So we need to hear from those devotees who are genuine well-wishers. They are qualified to find that. Others, it could just be their envy. But even still, if others do point out, even someone who's not really qualified, they point out a fault, still we should consider it. That Prabhupada had that experience in India. He was distributing Bhakti-Gita magazine. And one man found fault with what he was doing. He said, you should publish books. The magazine they can throw away, but you should publish books. They will keep the book. He pointed out discrepancy in Prabhupada's preaching strategy. Some ordinary Hindu gentleman. And Prabhupada said, yes, that's very good advice. So Prabhupada was not against taking advice from non-devotee. Even in New York, he took advice from a Jewish physician. Prabhupada had a stroke. He was lying there, and the devotees called a physician. It was very difficult. They couldn't find any doctor. It was like Labor Day weekend. It was a holiday weekend. But finally they found a doctor. He came to 26 2nd Avenue. And he was telling, in the other room, he told the devotees, you should take a walk. And he said, take a daily walk, a morning walk. Because Baba wasn't taking morning walks at the time. But then, he was in the other room, he heard the doctor was saying he should take a morning walk. So he actually, after that, Baba instituted the morning walk after hearing from that Jewish doctor. And so he needs to be more active. He's not active enough. He found fault with Prabhupada's daily regimen, that he wasn't taking a walk. So Prabhupada could take advice from anyone, even a Jewish meat-eating doctor, a pious Indian gentleman. He could take advice from anyone. He was completely open, because Krishna can communicate in any way through any channel. Krishna is not limited; he's unlimited. Krishna can communicate in unlimited ways. So one has a sincere devotee is always trying to understand, Krishna, what do you want me to do? Krishna, what do you want me to do? Please reveal it to me. That's his mood at every minute. Krishna, I'm just your puppet. Please reveal to me what you want me to do. He's always in that mood. And Krishna gives him the intelligence to understand what he's supposed to do. Does that help a little bit?
Yeah, I think so.
Or does the question still remain?